My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is May 5th, 2026. It is 4:22 a.m. This is part 2 of my last recording, so I'm just continuing. So let's go on X. Alright, so this is a TikTok video. Yep, Meghan has the receipt to back her truth. Alright, what is that? May 4th, 2026. Is Kate a mean girl? Side confirming Meghan's truth. Alright, let's listen to this.
Every time I mention Meghan and Harry's Oprah interview, where we found out a lot of information from behind the scenes, I have people in my mentions yelling at me that Meghan and Harry lied. But there are a few reasons that I know that they were telling the truth. The first is that Meghan said Kate wrote her an apology, and she has that apology note. So if the press ever starts to spin that story up again about how Kate made Meghan cry, I guarantee you we will see the proof of the note that Kate wrote.
And the thing is that the Oprah interview, this is how masterful these British people who like to spend things are. I actually thought Meghan was saying nice things about Kate, despite everything. She could have easily omitted that part where she said Kate gave her that apology. Okay? She could have easily omitted it. But the UK media wants division. They want clash between Kate and Meghan. Anything to disrupt the positivity of, let's say, the Fab Four. So they insist a negativity on that part.
Do you see any scenario by which Harry and Meghan overshadow Kate and
Oh,
William?
yes, I do. I do. I mean, this is immediately was my first thought. You know, this could be a problem.
I truly believe that the media, Kate have no say. She has no say, but she can't, I don't know. Let's continue. I thought that was a positive, but the UK media claim otherwise.
And the second reason that I know they're not lying is because of the video that was taken during this moment, during the Queen's funeral walkabout. You know, the moment that Kate said was the hardest moment of her life. The way that the Kate mean girl came out to play in this moment is how I knew Meghan was not lying, that she was cold and icy to her before this.
I know some of you don't agree with me. Yes, Kate might be a mean girl and things like that. The thing is that I think to be accepted in that high society, which they probably will never accept her, she's just complying. That's what I think. It's the tabloid who's saying things, but I don't know, because there's no reason for anybody to put themselves in that kind of situation. But then again, there's so many people who wants to belong, to be part of. When you look at in the United States, some Hispanics, they want to be part of the, white. They want to be accepted as white. And then the whites are telling them they will never be accepted. It's something like this that I'm seeing with Kate. They will never accept her. Let's see some of the comments here. No, she doesn't. No one else in the world accuses Catherine of being a mean girl. Only the actual mean girl. Oh, please. Like I was saying in the Oprah interview, Meghan didn't have to mention that Kate apologized to her. She could have easily omitted that. Okay, after the Oprah interview, Gayle King said she has receipt from Meghan to back up her claims. We have yet to see this receipt. Because there's no reason to bring it. She's done with it. She's done with the interview. Okay, where are they? Okay, all I hear is opinion. Okay, fight back. A bully is not being mean, just saying. I don't know. Let's go to the next tweet. Alright, so this is another TikTok video. Okay, Meghan's peace is a threat to them and that institution. Meghan's peace is a threat also to their insecurities. She is never coming back to those low vibrational leeches. Alright, let's listen to it.
Grappling with the fact that the monarchy will die without the Sussexes. That is what they are saying in this article. They are telling the future king and queen of England that they have to make up with Harry and Meghan, or else nobody will be tuning into the show. And they're not just telling Will and Kate, they're also telling King Charles. They're saying that evicting the Sussexes from Frogmore Cottage and letting it sit empty looks bad, which is what we have been saying for years.
Their voices now don't matter anymore, because in the moment they were cheering for it. I'm telling you, when you look at what's happening in the US and what's happening in the UK with Harry and Meghan situation, it's almost the same, parallel. The monarchy, the US government, the MAGAs, they doing things for as a self-destruction, and as they doing it, they were laughing, and it's like dead brain. They don't see their own self-destruction. It's really parallel. But in the moment when Charles was doing those imbecile kind of behavior, where were these people to tell him, don't do that, it doesn't look good? But now that Harry and Meghan are thriving, they're doing things, people are liking everything that they're doing, cheering for them, all of a sudden they realize what they did is wrong. It's too late now. The amount of embarrassment, unnecessary embarrassment that they put on Harry and Meghan, there's no reason for them to go back.
Charles
Especially
evicted
Meghan.
them because he was feeling petty after Harry released Spare and after they went on Oprah, and allowing it to sit empty doesn't look good for their homeless initiatives. They basically have palaces sitting empty. So why would they need to kick out Harry and Meghan? That could have been their safe space that they came back to if they wanted to see the king. And instead, he was so short-sighted that he will topple his own regime because of looking like a petty bitch.
That is true. There's no comment. Let's go to the next tweet. She's right. And that's not gonna look good in the history book for them. Alright, next tweet. As I was saying, never seen a Meghan hater thriving in real life. This woman has no hair, now has no ceiling, but she's got time to abuse Meghan when she's got a chance. Alright, who's that? Sarah Vine. My ceiling has... they're not even embarrassed to even put this out there. If this is true. Sarah Vine, my ceiling has collapsed and so has my life. I'm being evicted. I'm destined to be single forever and I could be homeless. Okay, is it time to get out of Britain for good? So, is she a real reporter? How much is she making? Oh, let's pause this. So one of Meghan's loudest trolls who breathed her last month ago, the details on Devendra Street are quite grim. Allegedly, she was living in poor condition in a little flat with her 2 cats. A neighbor killed one of the cats and the other was found dead weeks after she... Okay, I think could have been on my last recording. I highlight this. So this squaddy is retweeting it and putting this. There's another Devendra who's going through some hard time. There's that. I'm waiting for them all to crash. Yeah. There's the... Look at... what's his name? Andrew over there. These are all the Devendras bashing on Harry and Meghan. There they are. Unbelievable. The one in the back. This is the one of the most famous one. Okay, you don't say. Okay, I be a public service. If the toxic old baggage Sarah Vine did actually piss off out of Britain, but unfortunately she won't do, as she stand no chance of getting any work anywhere else. There's the rolling eye. Funny thing is, if she afford to pay her bills in the UK, where else can she live for free? What is that? Just like Annabella Benwick Elliott, who live on an island because of the high cost of living in the UK, she can denigrate Meghan by leaving her 6-month-old child in front of a screen for 6 hours. What? The witch Salvine will join her. She has already sold her wig for a living. There's that. Whatever. Let's move on. Okay, so now we are into some US politics, okay? We're done with the derangers. Let them live in their misery life as long, they stay away from me and the Sussexes and the, Next tweet. Shame on you, Jeff Bezos. Activists in New York City project a message on the side of Jeff Bezos' $120 million penthouse from a 72-year-old Amazon worker in North Carolina ahead of the Met Gala tonight. Okay, 1 minute and 37 seconds. See it.
Jeff Bezos, my name is Mary Hill. I am a 72-year-old warehouse worker at one of your facilities. When we struggle from paycheck to paycheck, from week to week, really angers me. Because if it weren't for every associate in every Amazon facility, he wouldn't have all those zeros behind his name. Shame on you, Jeff Bezos. The people that need to be being celebrated at the Met Gala are the workers, people like me. We deserve that celebration. We deserve so much more than we're getting. There's power in numbers, and there's more of us than there are of you. Remember, Jeff, ordinary people like myself that helped make you billionaires, if we built it, we can tear it down.
Okay, when she said there's more of us than them, this is why they're creating division among us. And when there's division among us, they remain in power. I hope people get that. That kind of system work in the UK, work globally, work in the United States to keep all those powerful people thriving and stomping on the poor working class. Let's continue.
Think about that tonight, okay? After that bottle of champagne when you go to bed. We're gonna keep growing, and we're gonna keep building, and we're gonna keep protesting, and we're gonna keep marching, and we're gonna keep fighting this dystopian culture.
Well, the key thing is vote. When people vote, the right person or people in the position to make the decision of power, the decision of law, you need to vote the right person in. And this is why they capture all form of communication, to put false information out there, confuse the people. So I don't know. As much as we hate what Trump stands for, what he has done to the country, at least he helped highlight some of the things that been going on in the U.S.
We're not stopping. We're just getting cranked up. Enjoy your damn gala.
So that's that. I'm not gonna go in the comment. Next tweet. Making reference to the Met Gala. Right? Oh, the same thing again. So I'm not gonna play the video. A warm welcome at the Bezos penthouse in New York City during the Met Gala. Chris Smalls, the Amazon worker who was fired for organizing a union, has a new word to share. So that was that. I just played it. Perfect. Bezos and his Venetian blinds. Mackenzie is an admirable, extraordinary, compassionate, and inspiring humanitarian. Her ex and his current are not. Alright, so that's that. In case you want to read it, there's that. I'm moving on. Next tweet. I didn't know it was the same video. Alright. This is the new wife, by the way, and this is the ex. I hope there was a prenup, because if the new one, I'm sure if there's a divorce, she's probably gonna go with half of everything. Alright, next tweet. Back in August 2025, Rolands Martin said this about political and economic power in Black America being on the line. The Congressional Black Caucus faces an existential threat as the Supreme Court eyes rulings that could erase over 30 black held seats, the political and economic power in black America is on the line. Well, what did the Supreme Court do last week? So I'm just going to play what's here, okay? I'm not going to go to his full video. He has a YouTube channel, so go check it out. So I'm going to play this. If I have anything to say, I'll stop in between.
Of y'all to understand that what is on the ballot is they could wipe out with one goddamn ruling more than 30 black congressional seats. That means right now the Congressional Black Caucus is the largest caucus in the United States Congress, and this Supreme Court could literally wipe out half of the damn Congressional Black Caucus. So don't tell me you're being too emotional. Don't tell me it doesn't matter. Right now, they're looking to wipe out Congressman Cleaver in Missouri. They're looking to wipe out Congresswoman Sykes in Ohio. They've already wiped out a black seat in Florida. I've told y'all repeatedly that they want to defund black America. They want to take everything economically, everything politically, academics, business. They want Jim Crow 2.0 to return. And what you had better understand is read a goddamn history book. Because this is exactly what happened after the 1875 decision. This is exactly what happened after Plessy versus Ferguson, when they wiped out black representation in Congress. Go read the speech of that last black Republican who was from North Carolina. The reason the Congressional Black Caucus Phoenix Awards is called that because he said to them, you may wipe us out now, but we're going to rise like a phoenix. Every single one of y'all watching, y'all want to understand why I'm trying to tell y'all, stop sitting here debating this bullshit, LeBron and MJ, and we talk about dance and everything. These white nationalists literally are trying to wipe out every black advancement that we have seen, not since the Civil Rights Movement, but since Reconstruction. This is not a drill. This is reality. You had better understand, I'm not going to be silent while it happens. And if you are black, if you're unwilling to fight, if you ain't got the spirit of Shirley Chisholm, a bit unbought and unbossed, well, get your ass out the way and let some folks in who are ready to do battle.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you.
All right, so go check WMen Martin YouTube channel because he has a YouTube channel. While he was talking, not him in particular, WMen Martin, there's a short video that I was watching before I started recording tonight, and I responded to it. I'm gonna search for it and share it with you. Let me pause this, and then after that I'll go to my next video. Let me pause and search for that YouTube video. All right, so I found it. This is the video. Okay, I'm not gonna play it. The link is in the description. You could go and check it out. It's 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Maybe okay. I'll play a few moments of it, but and then I'll read my comment.
Okay, a woman by the name of Victoria. I'm going to play it for you. She was not aware. She didn't even know January 6th happened. And when she found out about it, she was done. Okay, so listen to what she has to say.
I'd been assigned to watch a PBS documentary about January 6th. I remember them talking about the Proud Boys. And I was like, what are the Proud Boys? What is this? And watching that documentary, I learned a lot of really, really not so nice truths about Trump.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it here, just 30 seconds of it, but the link of it is in the description. Go listen to the entire thing. So thank God I found my comment. So it's like 2 hours ago. So this is what I wrote here. The question is, where the hell were they? Okay, these people who don't know what the Proud Boys, what January 6th was, and all of that, were they out of this world? They had to be, because people from other countries clearly saw what was happening and what continued to happen. Anyone who continues to support those aligned with Donald J. Trump, along with elected officials who back his agenda, need to be voted out. If, and that's a big if, we ever return to some level of normalcy, and if we truly want to move forward as a country, we need to examine our courts from top to bottom, from Supreme Court of the United States to the local level. We cannot have judges who don't understand the fundamental fabric of this country. Supreme Court of the United States should not have lifetime appointments, and there must be accountability for their action. Donald J. Trump essentially exposed many of the issues we need to fix. Education from pre-K through 12th grade needs to include the real history of the United States, taught in an age-appropriate way. Nothing should be omitted. The hard truth must be addressed. We also need to inform Americans about what the U.S. has done and supported in the Middle East. As a country, we have supported action that contribute to the devastation in Palestine. After all of this, I suppose we can say Donald J. Trump was a wake-up call. Many of these issues have existed for a long time. He just brought them into the spotlight, likely believe there will be no consequences. Meanwhile, some Republicans continue to hold the country back while blaming African Americans for problems they did not create. African Americans are asking for progress, respect, reparation, and the freedom to live without interference. This country, this is not to say if you break the law, you're not going to be punished. The same level playing field, all right? This country, I didn't say it, I'm just referring with, especially this part, live without interference. Just let them be, all right? You break the law, there's punishment, all right? This country could be so much further ahead. Every time there's progress, it feels like it gets erased and pushed backward, often by movement like MAGA and elements within the GOP. So here's my question. Why was it acceptable to support someone who openly promoted pain, suffering for others? Immigrants or not, did any of these MAGA supporters ever stop to think about how their own families came to the United States? All right, so that's that. Let's go back to X. So that's what I was thinking as I was listening to that. Okay, I'm not going to go in the comment of this tweet video. Go check his YouTube channel. All right, let's move on. Next tweet. What is this? All right, this is the next one. All right, let's pause here. Why Latinos think they are white? Colonization 101. Why Latinos think they are white? Okay, almost 3 minutes. This one is long.
So you tell me if Latinos aren't the most successfully colonized, considering they are voting people in that continue to hurt our community, all for their proximity to whiteness, because for some reason they believe that that's upward progression when a white man's leadership has never led us to liberty. They believe that they are Christian and Catholic by choice. And it's not by choice. It's by observational knowledge and colonization. The people around them were Christian and Catholic. They believe that their religion is the optimal religion and will not study other ones because that goes against their primary quote unquote belief. But it's not their belief. It was a colonizer's belief, because when the Spanish came with a Bible in one hand and a gun in another. And in order to successfully colonize a group, you need to do a couple of things. One, remove their language. They've made us believe that Spanish is our own tongue, which is why we mock people saying, tienes el nopal en la cara and you don't speak Spanish, not even knowing that that term is also derogatory to mean you look indigenous and you don't speak Spanish. The words of the oppressor. You and I also speak bastard Spanish, not authentic Spanish. A lot of our Spanish is mixed in with indigenous words. And if you go to Spain, they will let you know that. Two, introduce an organized religion. One that says that you will obey the law of the land, that you will obey your mother and your father, because they didn't come with women. The Spanish just came with men, and then they raped our children, which is why they were also heavy on the you must forgive. To further that, then you have to eradicate their beliefs and their spirituality. You also need to steal all their riches so they don't remember, as well as removing all of their hard work that they've done. We know the Mayans were leading in astronomy. So they burned books, they removed all the monuments that they had, and they stripped them away from everything that they knew. Then they create a caste system. One where they say that the lighter you are, the more intelligent, the more powerful you are. And they do this because they created a white Jesus, when we know the Bible says that Jesus had bronze skin and hair of wool. Last time I checked, white people don't have hair of wool. They don't. Black people do, though. When you create a liberator of sins to look white, you convince the indigenous community that whiteness somehow means greatness. Then the colonizer introduces racism in their mind because they target a few while lifting up the rest. For example, we had the Spanish on the top, the mestizos that were mixed with Indian and Spanish. Then you had the mulattos, and then so on and so forth, and then the negros, right? And when you have this separation, you can target a group of people and say they are the bad ones. We should all go against them, while not understanding that the oppressed is a collective experience. It doesn't matter if we were mestizo or mulatto or negro. Yes, the negros suffered a lot freaking more, but that doesn't mean that the mestizo and mulatto didn't.
So as I'm listening to her, I feel like Dominican Republic should listen to this. That's for them. Because at one point, they're going to feel it. Because they're helping the idea, the, how do you call this? The colonization, the kind of thing that's going on right now, what Trump is trying to do in the U.S. And things like that. But anyway, let's leave that alone. I'm not going to go in the comment section. They have to feel it in order for them to understand it. All right, next tweet. Okay, white men in the UK know that ancient black men rule Europe and build their civilization. This one is 52 seconds. Let's listen.
I suppose you just let black men marry white women?
Well, they do so in France, and it has caused no calamities.
You can marry outside your race in France?
No, the south of France was ruled by black men at one time, as was Spain and Italy.
Black men ruled Europe?
For 800 years. Part of that empire still exists today. It's called Andalusia, and it truly has some of the most magnificent architecture in the world. It's true.
Okay, let me pause this. My book is available for purchase on Amazon. Link is in the bio. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. I'm not gonna go in the comments, okay? Next one. Let's pause this. Okay, everyone must listen to this. Brilliant. I love this energy.
How are we going to recover from Donald Trump? How are we going to build back after he's destroyed basically every single thing in the country that's worth saving? How are we going to rebuild? It's actually very easy. We're going to do the thing we should have done a long time ago. We're going to tax the ever-loving fuck out of the rich and out of corporations. They got us into this. They helped that man get elected, and they have stood by him for every single second of his second term and first. They're going to pay for rebuilding. They are going to pay through the nose. They're going to pay so much that they're going to feel it in their assholes and the bottom of their feet. They're going to pay. And we are going to build something new, not just what we had. We are not going back. We're going to build a care economy, an economy where...
When I hear we're not going back, I remember who said that? Kamala Harris. We're not going back. But, hey, they voted to go back, and we are back. Back in the MAGA kind of thing. Well, we're not fully there. They're really pushing for it. But like I've said in that YouTube video here, I go in that video and check it out, is that, you know, there's a lot of fixing that needs to be done. Trump pretty much exposed what needs to be fixed. Because many of the things that he's doing, now we are seeing in full blasted, and we are feeling it. It's been going on. All right, let's finish.
Where the rising tide lifts all boats, and we are going to pay for it with their money. And anyone who tells you that it's not possible, especially if they're a politician, do not vote for them. Vote for people who have that vision and are willing to carry it out. That should be the bottom line. They're already trying to do it in New York. We're already trying to do it in California. Help those efforts, because what happens on the state level goes to the federal level. We're going to tax the ever-loving shit out of the billionaires. That's how.
All right, so other countries pay attention, because these people, they're going to want to move away because this is why they have offshore accounts and all of that. They already set them the exit out already. Trump, the first thing he did is send those money to Argentina. Oh my Lord, I don't know. Let's go to the next one. All right, so there's more things coming about the Spirit Airlines. All right, Spirit Airlines says otherwise. Spirit Airlines shut down as company says it can't keep up with higher oil prices. Ultra low cost airline offers 30 flights per week from Pittsburgh International and 15 flights per week from Arnold Palmer and Latrobe. All right, so that's that. There's no comment. Okay, so this person I blocked. What did they say here? Oh, New York Post. Okay, DOT Secretary Duffy blames Biden administration, Pete Buttigieg, for Spirit Airlines failure. I mean, it was fine during Biden's administration. So now there's Trump in office going everywhere, creating chaos. And during his term, you would, if it was, let's say, the first month of Trump's second term presidency, maybe would have said, okay, maybe it's Biden's administration thing is still running its course. We've been what? Well, he's like 1 year and couple months. So how much disaster he created? So that's that. All right. So the Spirit Airlines that went out of business is not something I've been following. But I've seen articles. I have not gotten a chance to read it. I've been very busy. But it seems like there are lies that is being put out there why they are out of business. So he decided to put a video out saying why, his company went out of business. All right, so let's go over that. I'm just going to share the video. I'm not going to go in the comment. All right. The CEO of Spirit Airlines, Dave Davis, is calling Trump out for his lies about why they had to stop operation, and he said it happened because of the sudden and sustained price of jet fuel, which has doubled since Trump started this war with Iran. Okay, so let's listen. It's 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Screenshot.
Davis, the president and CEO of Spirit Airlines, is basically calling Donald Trump out in a whopper. Here's what he said. Donald Trump is trying to blame this on the Biden administration. And here's what Dave Davis, CEO and president of Spirit, had to say. He said, first, he says, quote, he cited the sudden and sustained rise in fuel prices in recent weeks as the reason for the company closure. What? The rise in fuel prices? Yes, aviation fuel has doubled as a result of Donald Trump's decision to go to war with Iran. Spirit could not stay in business because it would take hundreds of millions of dollars in cash, extra cash they didn't have. Sustaining the business required hundreds of millions of additional dollars of liquidity that Spirit does not have and could not procure. They needed basically extra money because jet aviation fuel doubled in price. They couldn't stay in business without this liquidity that they didn't have. Did Spirit have problems before? Yes, but they would have been able to stay in business if their jet fuel prices had not doubled. Why did jet fuel prices double, Donald Trump? Because of your war on Iran. Remember, you said you were going to bring gas prices down. They doubled. They doubled. And in turn, Donald Trump, you caused Spirit to shut down because of your decision to go to war. And guess what? I'm going to have some more videos coming on truck drivers because they are having a huge time, lots of trouble trying to make things work right now, especially the independent drivers, and I got a couple of stories I'm going to tell on that. But this is it. Donald Trump, the closure of Spirit is on you. You and your administration didn't do anything to help them, and your decision to go to war with Iran is the reason they closed. That's the bottom line. Don't blame it on Biden. Don't blame it on somebody. This is on you. You didn't do anything except start the war, and you didn't help them because of the war that you started. That's the bottom line. Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and their burner labels. Start taking responsibility for decisions you make, even when they're bad ones.
All right. So I thought I'd share it with you. That's it. All right. So let's get back to the original recording. And we're blaming Biden. Biden left for a long time ago. Next tweet. I might have part 3 because I'm more than an hour. More than 30 minutes. Okay, next tweet. A woman loses her home in a fire. She asks insurance to rebuild the same home. No upgrades, no expansion. Insurance says no. Her policy only covers what the house used to cost. After years of paying premium, she finds out coverage disappears when she actually needs it. I was gonna say where's her copy, but the house burned. Everyone should have a. It doesn't have to be a huge safe. It could be a small safe you could find in how do you call this, Home Depot, to put your document in it. Fireproof. Wow. Can she? Well, the bank only keep copies for 7 years. Oh my God. Let's listen to it. 2 minutes and 8 seconds.
So I'm not one to come on here and cry and tell anyone personal information about myself. But I never want anyone that I know to go through what we're going through right now. If you have insurance on your home, you need to call and make sure that, ask the simple question of, if something as devastating as what happened to us, our whole house is gone, can we just build exactly what we had with our insurance policy? Because what I'm finding out, you know, when you think you're like, okay, well, let's just build exactly what we had, it just doesn't work like that. I don't know a lot about insurance, but it doesn't even come close. So we're gonna probably have to sell our lot to try to pay off the mortgage and then find something else. And
well, if that was me, I've been paying insurance forever. I will transfer that rest of the debt to the insurance, because they don't want to build it and you still have money left for it. I don't know. Find a lawyer to transfer that. And this is the thing, so many people didn't understand what that election 2024 mean. Because there's a lot of government offices that were there to help people. What Trump did, he came and messed them up. Let me go search that. So I type in Google, what government offices did Trump shut down? As of early 2026, the Trump administration has taken steps to dismantle or severely curtail several federal agencies with a primary focus on international development and independent oversight bodies. Key action include USAID, you could read more, National Law Enforcement Accountability Database, targeted oversight entities, all right? So that probably covers many other offices. Right, the Council of the Inspectors General on Integrity and Efficiency was defunded, and multiple oversight offices and DHS were impacted. All right, so that alone, you could see this is where she fell under. Her issues fall under. Some of these offices are not operating the way it used to. They either close or maybe pause, but they're not operating the same way it used to. All right. So this is why the insurance said, nope, we're not going to do it. And Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, Department of Veteran Affairs. So he came to destroy. This is the thing many people didn't get in the last election. You could read more, but hey.
I just thought that, God forbid, something like this happens, you have that type of, that's why you have insurance. And it just doesn't work that way. So I don't want this to happen to anybody else. So just make sure you have it, because you just don't ever think it's going to happen to you. So everyone is safe. Everyone's okay. You know, we had not moved in yet. We were hoping to be in right before Christmas. So, but when you just, this was going to be a really,
it's going to be tough
thing for us. Like a really nice way to start the new year. This 2025 is pretty much sucked.
Okay, so this is old
for us this year.
I feel for her.
Just make sure you're covered.
Well, with the kind of administration we have, I don't know how the government is gonna help you. All right, this is why they put him, those rich and powerful who's holding the purse of the country in a way. How would you term it? They have the whole system. They control the system. The first thing I will say for anybody, even if you live in an apartment, I have it, is to buy a safe, a fireproof safe, put all your important documents in it. If there's a fire, I don't know how good of a fire protection these safes are. You'll find a very, affordable one and at Home Depot. I never tested and I don't wish to test it. Put your important document. They know you don't have the document. Or if you have the document, put it in a safe deposit or something. That's the first thing I would say for anybody. You own an apartment or you buy a home. I don't know. She doesn't have the paperwork to prove to lawyers or anything like that. I don't know. I really don't know what to say about that because there's no backup. If she does, I don't know. Because the rest of the payment for the house, what I would have done is pretty much shift the rest of the payment to the insurance and said, look, you don't want to build me another house. I'm not asking for extra special thing or anything like that. Just a simple home. Oh my God. It really sucks. Well, I'm glad she put it out there for people who probably didn't think their vote means something. So this is what your voting means. This guy came in and destroyed everything. Still in the process of destroying. Okay, so this is another video.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally,